Today I'm talking about the chakra system. I want to give just a brief overview. Most of us are familiar with the 7 chakra system. We are told that there's actually a 12 chakra system, which I definitely believe. The 7 chakras that I work with on a very frequent basis are the chakras that run within the physical body. They run within and around the physical body, governing various glandular systems, organs, and so forth. Those 7 chakras are the ones that relate to body and what you're processing within and without in terms of the outside world. The additional 5 chakras, with one being below the feet and the other 4 being above the crown chakra, which is here. This is our 7th chakra. The other 4 being above that have to do with your ability to access higher levels of consciousness. And as you move more into 4 and 5D, 6D realities, your ability to access those levels of consciousness will be determined by the relative opening and health of those particular chakras. So today, I just want to focus on the 7 that I work with on a regular basis with my clients. Beginning to work with the additional 5 within myself and trying to bring those into my energy grid. They're already there, but activating those on more of a regular basis as I do more ascension work. So I can talk about those later in a separate video. But just to give you an overview, the chakra system speaks to our energy body. It's not something that you physically can see with your own eyes necessarily, although there are those of us who can perceive the chakra and the aura field, which is a part of our larger energy matrix. This particular field, the chakras themselves, we count as 7 within the human body, okay? They start at the base of the spine, at the lowest part of your spine, which coordinates to the area between your genitals and your anus. And it runs up, or the chakras run up to the top of your head, which is your crown chakra. Now we have 7. The first one we consider is the root chakra. The second one is the area below the navel. Okay, this is the area that we call the sacral chakra. That particular area governs the organs and the glandular systems in that area, the adrenals. This is the place of our feminine womb, our masculine energies, whether we're feminine or masculine. Those 2 energies are present in this area. And this is the area that's known as the sacral chakra. I'm going to get a little bit more into them, but I just want to go through the 7. The third area, which is right below the rib cage, above the navel, is called the solar plexus area. This is the particular chakra that deals with the mental, the ego mind. That's one of the areas anyway. The chakra above that, which comprises this entire area, is our heart chakra. And the heart chakra is this entire area here. And this deals with our ability to give and receive love unconditionally and to feel connected. To give and receive love to ourselves and also in the outer world. And then we have the throat chakra here, which governs our ability to communicate and express ourselves creatively. Expressing ourselves creatively meaning when you know who you are, you express yourself creatively. This throat chakra is not just about talking. It has a lot also to do with all areas of our ability to communicate creatively, who we are, our place in the world, those sorts of things. As well, next we have the third eye chakra, which is the area right in this area here. The third eye chakra governs our ability to see through deception and to see the truth of matters, i.e. the nature of reality, to connect with those higher parts of our higher self, inner self, that whole thing. The intuition comes through this area, our knowing, our inner knowing, our ability to really see and think clearly. Mental clarity is also associated with this area. So think of the third eye as sort of the first eye that you had before you had these 2 babies here. You had a spiritual eye. So think of what you would do with that spiritual eye to help you to connect with the third eye energy. And then up here at the top of the head, we have the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is what connects us directly to source. This is where we align with divine consciousness, or we align ourselves with the divine cosmic will. We live in accordance with those higher principles. We feel connected and in congruence with the divine. This is where that happens. So each chakra governs a specific set of organs, a specific set of glandular and metabolic processes. Each chakra is coordinated with or corresponds with certain states of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So, for example, let's take the root chakra. The root chakra is the first to open, and it begins to open and balance when we come into the world. It has to do with our early experiences. The root chakra, if you think about the root chakra, it serves as our anchor to earth. Our feeling of groundedness comes from this particular chakra. So naturally, this chakra is concerned with issues to do with stability, survival. Is this universe a friendly place? Do I feel supported? Do I feel stable in the world? Am I grounded? Can I manifest my creative intentions into physical form? That's the area of the root chakra. Now, the root chakra is governed by the color yellow. This is our most dense chakra. And if you know anything about the light spectrum, that color red has the slowest vibration. The organs and the systems in that area that correspond with this particular chakra have the slowest vibration as well. Probably the easiest way to understand that is you have a part of yourself that gives, receives, transmits, assimilates, synthesizes, and analyzes information from your inner and outer worlds in order to make certain parts of your body take physical form. We have an energy body of which the chakra system is a part of, and that energy body is what gives rise to our physical body. So we're in a better space when we consciously are aware of our chakras and we consciously do things and participate in exercises that program our chakras. That way we're not reacting to the state of the chakra based upon how we've been conditioned and the kinds of experiences we've had. For example, if the root chakra is a chakra that opens up early in life, if you grew up, for example, without your mother and you never developed a sense of trust, or say you grew up in an unstable home environment, then that root chakra has some imbalances, and there's some energetic blocks there that are affecting you in a very, very real way. Okay, those things would be preventing you, or those particular energetic imbalances perhaps will be preventing you from feeling secure in the world. You may live with a lot of fear. You may have big problems with stepping into the unknown. You may have a need to control everything. You may be very insecure. All right. So there are lots of different things that you could do to balance that chakra, but those would be some of the ways in which those imbalances would present themselves in not only a young child, but as you grow up. If you don't balance these chakras, if you don't identify with them and begin to heal the energies of those chakras, then those imbalances, whether they are excessive or deficient, those imbalances will follow you throughout your adulthood and present very real problems. And then eventually the organs that these chakras actually govern will become ill, and you will have the necessary or the corresponding emotional and mental symptoms as well. The next chakra up, which is our womb space, which is this area here, this is our sacral chakra. It is related to, or it corresponds to, the color orange. This is where I love to say our zest for life happens. This is where our passion is. This is the seat or the source of our sexual potency, our sexual energies, our masculine and feminine energies, irrespective of gender, reside in this area. This area mirrors the cosmic womb of life. When the area is, when the energy in this area is free flowing, you feel impassioned. You are in your creative power. You feel that joy of life. This is also the area where we hold our emotional trauma and some of our earliest memories of those emotional parts of ourselves that sometimes we find hard to matriculate. That energy is in this sacral chakra space. This is an amazing energy center. It's where we move our life force energy. It's also, if you think about it, it's our core. As you refer to those of you who work out, it's our core. So if there's something unhealthy in that area, then we will experience the corresponding ills as it relates to that. So any type of reproductive issues that you may have, dealing with any of the organs that deal with or are governed by water as the element, would be affected, whether it be your fallopian tubes or whether it be urinary tract infection, bladder issues, fertility, whatever is coming out of that area. If you experienced any trauma in your life, the energy of that area is actually affected. And on a very real level, in addition to, say, any type of mental work you might be doing with psychological treatments and so forth, you have to repair the weave of energy or the energy field in that area that experienced the trauma in order to really heal on all levels. So healing your energy body and being aware of your energy body is very, very serious stuff, and it's something worth knowing about, because it is your energetic body that determines the health of your physical body. It is your energetic body that is most closely in contact with spirit and the other dimensions of consciousness. So it's so important. After that, right below the rib cage above the navel, we have our solar plexus energy. This energy has to do with our mental disposition. This is where ego is. This is where personality is. This energy is very mental. This energy also has to do with how we are matriculating in the world, our personal power. If we feel timid, if we feel unable to actualize our evolutionary desires, we feel restricted in this area. If we are not in our personal power, if we're in a space of, say, people pleasing, if we worry about what other people think to the point of paralysis, the energy of this area can be blocked. When this energy is flowing, you are able to get out and take the necessary actions in your life that correlate with or that mirror what you feel is your heart's and your soul's passion, your evolutionary aims, your focus. You're able to step into your power. You're able to be courageous. You're able to go out into the unknown. You're able to initiate actions and awarenesses in your life that take you closer to your expansion. The next area is our heart chakra. It's governing everything related to unity consciousness, the release of duality, which is the sense of separateness between you and everything else. The more you enjoy a state of oneness and you feel the interconnectedness between yourself and everything else in creation and life, the more the energies of this area are flowing. This is where you would hold unforgiveness. This is where even unforgiveness for yourself. This is where you would hold your grief, where you would hold your pain. Oftentimes, fear can actually manifest here and create heart issues. Fear, grief, sadness can manifest in this area and create upper respiratory issues like things you would experience with asthma. But the heart energy is, or the heart chakra is the connecting energy between our three lower chakras and our three upper, higher spiritual chakras. Now remember, we know that we're dealing with more chakras than this, and we know that these chakras mirror the chakras within the earth. We also know that they mirror the 12 DNA strands that we have, of which for now we're using very little, and we're being told that it's junk DNA when it's not, but that's a whole nother subject which we will broach later. So this heart chakra space is a space where you feel love. It's a space where you feel connected. It's the space where you initiate forgiveness. This area is said to be the connect or the bridge between the two. It is this chakra that you will hear many of us saying we're moving into the heart chakra. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're moving into a greater sense of needing more meaning in life and needing to feel more connected to those things around us and the higher energies that we are seeking to avail ourselves of so that we can experience our true essence. These energies of the heart are what the heart chakra is so critical. It is the heart space that has to expand really in order for the other chakras to be able to be turned on and do what they need to do. When your heart chakra is shut down, as with any of the chakras, it brings an imbalance into the entire system. But for example, the heart chakra greatly affects the third eye chakra and the ability for you to be able to, so to speak, see straight and to effectuate your evolutionary intentions or your soul intentions in a way that is just and according to higher ideals. So that heart chakra space is very important, and there's just so much more to say about it. After that, we have the throat chakra, which is this area here. And it governs all of the organs and systems within that area. The throat chakra is primarily concerned with one's ability to express their authenticity, the ability to speak your truth, the ability to communicate who you are in the world via action, via your creative outputs, via expressing your voice and being heard. This chakra here is what is in charge of that. So for example, if you've been someone who's been shut down, let's say you grew up in a home where in order to survive, you pretty much had to be a shrinking violet and you had to be quiet in order to keep down maybe physical or emotional abuse, verbal abuse, then you learn to silence your voice. You learn to shrink it back. And so the area that correlates with those energies becomes constricted and it becomes blocked. And so as you move forward in your life, you've learned behavior that actually prevents you from expressing your truth. And people who typically may find themselves in very disempowering alliances or relationships can probably go back to times in their lives where they have felt an inability to express who they were, or they were shut down, or somehow that throat chakra's energy was not allowed to flow. And sometimes we can be even in situations that are not that traumatic, but grow up in a home where we have a parent who may be too dominating, who doesn't allow us to voice our uniqueness or our individuality to the point to where those chakras can become imbalanced as well. But the throat chakra is very, very critical. Next, we have the third eye chakra, and that particular chakra is associated with indigo, whereas the throat chakra is associated with kind of a, not quite a light blue, kind of a light sky blue. There's a little bit of tiny blue in there you can see, but the indigo is for the third eye, and I didn't mention the green for the heart chakra, but the indigo. So the third eye chakra is concerned with higher knowing. It's concerned with mental clarity. It's concerned with elevated levels of intuition. It's concerned with your psychic senses and knowing, inner knowing. It's concerned with all things seen in the spiritual realm in terms of truth that the physical eyes and the five senses does not necessarily perceive. It is where your inner eye is, your spiritual eye. So this area is concerned with your ability to see clearly and to see beyond the veil of illusion, so to speak. Imbalance in this area could be hallucinations. It could be someone actually what really clouds this area more than anything else and keeps it closed is limited beliefs. So as you begin to open your mind up to new awarenesses, it begins to stimulate energy in this area. So one of the things that you will find people who are moving into the fourth and fifth dimensional awarenesses, you'll find them moving away from are limiting beliefs, constricted ways of thinking and being, allowing other people to define what your reality is, allowing other people to define what your relationship with the Creator will be, and being out of your power and embracing the fear paradigm, the three-dimensional reality, which is where we separate, we give and assign labels, we judge everything, we become separate from not only life force, but become separate from everything in creation. So the third eye is what unveils that. It is what begins to connect you with the truer part of yourself. So as you begin to release your limiting beliefs, as you begin to see more clearly the inner dimensions of things, the energy of this particular chakra begins to open up. This is a chakra that you always hear is associated with the pineal gland. Sometimes it's associated with the pituitary gland, depending upon who you're talking to. But the energy of this area governs all of our and is involved with all of our metabolic processes. This is the area that affects sleep cycles, which is why oftentimes if you have a very open third eye, you experience very vivid dreams, very lucid dreams. The energy of this area has a commanding energy in that it actually can help to set a right or to bring into balance the other chakras. It's sort of our command center. So by the same token, if this energy is out of alignment, the other chakras are going to also be out of alignment. And as the energy of this particular chakra starts to align, then as the energies of this chakra start to align, then the rest of the energies of all the other chakras will begin to align too. Now, whereas the other chakras are associated with particular glandular and physical areas of our body, this chakra is associated with thought. Okay, it's associated with thought. So really seriously, mental clarity, stability, seeing clearly, levels of mental acuity, all of those things are affected by this area. As well, our ability to imagine, our ability to visualize. Any imbalances that are happening in this area can sometimes often be reflected in our ability to see, literally, and some of the other areas of our body, which we can get into more later. The crown chakra is the chakra that connects us with divine consciousness. This is where we are connected to all things greater than our physical selves, greater than ourselves. This is where we plug into divine consciousness, where we're connected to source. This is where we feel unity consciousness at its greatest. This is where we actually channel. Those of us who channel, which all of us have the capacity to do, some more than others, we channel messages and guidance from this chakra, and you become sort of a vessel. This is also the chakra we connect with as we begin to do healing work. But the chakras in and of themselves, really, each of them can be associated with so many aspects of the totality of the human experience, and we can associate them with particular affirmations that can help you come to know them more and become more familiar. So, for example, the crown chakra, a good affirmation would be, I am divine. I am divine, or I am connected to divine consciousness. For the third eye, the affirmation could be, I am connected to my higher self. I respond to intuition. I am a part of cosmic synchronicities, okay? For the throat chakra, I express my truth. I articulate my authenticity in the world. For the heart chakra, I am love, all right? Another affirmation might be, I am the giver and the receiver of unconditional love. The solar plexus chakra, I effectuate my evolutionary desires. I am. Okay. The sacral chakra, I am enough. I am enough is a great affirmation for this area. I express my creativity. I am the portal for life. And then the root chakra, I am secure in the world. I am grounded. I am rooted in source energy. These are the kinds of affirmations that coincide with the particular chakras. And the video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to bring it to a close. But I will delve into each of the various chakras over the next phase of recording videos. And I'll make sure that I give you some activities and some suggestions for some things that you can do to get the energy flowing in these different areas. It's important to realize that it is your energetic body that gives rise to physical ease or physical dis-ease. And although traditional medicine has yet to come into full acceptance of this. Those of us who do energy work, those of us who are in the field of quantum physics or epigenetics or neuroplasticity or studying the human biofield, and looking at the subtle energy bodies, this is a very viable study, and it's something that you need to get on board with. It's very critical for you to understand as we move up in our levels of awareness and as we begin to understand how important balancing the human energy field is to our individual health and the collective health of everything on the planet. It's so important that you get on board with this and you begin to think beyond the density of what it is that you think you see here in terms of your body, and you understand that the energetic encoding and the energetic information that is a part of your individual energy field, something like 140 something thousand nadis running through your body, spiritual energy, what do you want to call it, pathways, your 12 chakras, your auric field, which has the numerous layers which mirror the layers within the chakra system. All of this is important, and while you may not be able to see the energy, there are those of us out there who are able to see the energy in this field, and so know that it exists and that it is not something that's just coming on the scene. It's been around. My nose is itching. I don't know why. Excuse me. It's been around for centuries and centuries, and we're coming to a point where the next wave of medicine will be the human energy field, and that medicine, outside of surgical procedures and types of activities that critical crises may warrant, outside of that, you will begin to see that new wave of medicine will have to integrate an understanding of the human energy field, and there will come a time where information is being placed within the energy field in order to heal the energy field. But even more than that, it's important that you understand that you yourself have the ability to heal your energy field, that you yourself have the ability to activate your DNA, all 12 strands, that you yourself have the abilities to ascend into higher states of awareness, because everything that you ever needed was given to you when you came into this physical experience. So the more that you can begin to learn about this and understand it, the more you can begin to integrate these new awarenesses, the more you can begin to change your life, your experience, your attitudes. You can begin to rewire yourself. You can begin to be in a greater sense of alignment with your true nature. You're with Tanisha Ali, Butterfly Transformations, trying to get you out of your cocoon, moving you out of that cocoon and into your wings. I work with inspired and highly actioned women, or highly functioning women who are on the precipice of trying to achieve that next milestone in their life and are trying to heal their energy, trying to up-level their mindsets, to clear blockages, whether they be financial blockages to wealth, spiritual blockages, emotional blockages, trying to help you take your life or your career to the next level. So I work as a life coach. I'm also a healer. So I do a lot of energy work, which I do from a distance, which you can find out more about on my website, Butterfly Transformations or Hidayah Reiki. But as well, I'm a spiritual mentor. So for those of you who are coming into the space of awakening and you're experiencing symptoms of ascension and you're trying to align your life with what these new understandings are bringing, and you're having experiences that are difficult to navigate, I also serve as a mentor for women who are just beginning to get into this new awakening, this period of higher consciousness. I'm Tanisha Ali. I hope that you have a wonderful day, that you are prosperous, that you feel abundant, and that you are able to give gratitude for the gift of life. I wish you the very best, and I leave you in love and light.